Welcome back, everybody. It's Mugen here and her mom, and today we're going to do a Q&A. I asked a bunch of you to send us your questions, and here are the answers to those questions. How much does Mugen weigh? Mugen weighs about 65 pounds on a full stomach. She's about 63, sometimes 65 on a full stomach. I mean, on an empty one. It depends on what her fat self was eating that day. We try to keep her on a strict diet so she stays about that weight. This is what the vet recommended for her. Mugen used to weigh about 85 pounds, and she was a little hippo because she has a food addiction, thanks to my grandmother giving her table food and giving it to her all the time without any incentive. So now that's something we have to do to manage it, is giving her a strict diet and guidelines to follow, and it's been keeping her in really good shape. Yeah, you like your chest scratched, yeah. Now another question I got is, what injuries has Mugen ever gotten? Since I've mentioned a couple times that I've been taking her to the vet or so on. Now Mugen is a bit of a klutz. Alright, you okay now? Mugen has dislocated her tail 3 times. The first time she was chasing her tail, and she caught it, and she pulled it and dislocated it. Second time she whacked it against the stove really hard because she was excited and wagging her tail. And the other time she whacked it against the side of the bed in a similar manner. She's also gotten a couple of urinary tract infections from eating garbage on our walks. Yeah. Hop down, sit. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. She's also torn her ACL, and she suffers from arthritis in her back legs. Now another question I get a lot because of this whole movement going on that I'm not particularly a fan of. Do I vaccinate Mugen, and how often do I take her to the vet? I take Mugen to the vet at least twice a year. She goes once every 6 months, just for annual, well not really annual, but for checkups and to make sure that all is well. And I do get her vaccinated on a schedule, but we usually only do like 1 or 2 at a time. We always research into what's good for her lifestyle. Things such as like Bordetella vaccination she doesn't get as often as dogs who are either boarded a lot, gone to daycares and things of that sort. Mugen is pretty solitary, and it's just us. She doesn't come in contact with any other dogs. So the vet feels that the once a year thing is safe for her. Rabies we do once every 3 years. Distemper and parvo we do once every year. She goes for her blood work, her dewormings, the whole shebang. Once a year she goes for a full dental cleaning, but usually she doesn't need it, so it gets pushed back. Her teeth are nice and sparkly. Yeah, I'm sorry, I know it makes you sneeze. I'm sorry, you big baby. What's Mugen's diet like? Mugen's diet is very strict, like I've mentioned before. We've tried many different kibble brands, we've tried limited ingredient diets, we've tried grain-free diets. So I decided to just start making her a homemade raw diet. Now her diet consists of a bunch of different things. It's not just meat. She also gets vegetables and fruit. They're all human grade ingredients, and if I wanted to, I can just cook it up for myself and eat it. That's how good it is. It's a bunch of chicken meat, lean chicken meat, liver, blueberries, dark leafy greens, an apple, some pumpkin, some carrot, eggs, olive oil. I'm trying to think what else. A bunch of vitamins, like glucosamine for her back legs and her arthritis. Stuff to keep her coat shiny, like vitamins. You enjoying your massage? Let's see. Oh, and also I'll add like poultry herbs like rosemary, sage, things like that, just to add flavor and mix it up a bit so she doesn't get tired of the same old thing. Now I'll freeze it up and I'll make it into frozen pucks, and I'll stuff it inside of her Kong toy, and it'll take her quite some time to eat, so it'll make her feel like she's eating a lot when she's not, and it helps her pace herself when she eats, because dogs that eat quickly and larger dogs have a bigger risk of getting bloat, and that could be potentially fatal, and I would not want that to happen to my big baby. Now, I'm about to ask the same question. Hey Mugen, what's your toy? Show me your toy. Show the audience your toy. Go ahead. She's gonna show you her favorite toy right now. This. From the dog's mouth herself, this is her favorite toy. Mostly because this is what she gets fed out of, but aside from that, there is a ATV or quad tire that she likes to chew, and pretty much any stuffed animal she'll rip to shreds and enjoy every second of it, but this is pretty much her favorite. Right? Yeah. Another question I get often is, what was Mugen's original name? Now, a lot of subscribers know that Mugen wasn't originally mine. We got Mugen from a couple in Queens. They had her but couldn't take care of her. They had a baby on the way. And they called her Diamond. That was her original name. We didn't feel like it fit her, so we renamed her. And she was named Mugen after the special Honda, or special Civic. That's the Mugen edition, that's their racing thing. No, she's not named after Samurai Champloo, although I do enjoy, does that feel nice? Although I do like that anime too. Did Mugen ever go to bed? Not when we asked her to that day on Thanksgiving. She woke us up and we played and we played. Then I had to cook, and then she got fed all the lovely little scraps. So she was pretty happy. We were tired, but we were happy too. It was nice, right? And now she gets to lay in bed with us, as long as she's behaving. The other day she kicked me out of bed and stole my spot. How many tricks does Mugen know? She knows a lot. I know I'm probably going to be forgetting some, but she knows sit, she knows lie down, she knows sit up, she knows shake, she knows to shake with the other paw in command, she knows to crawl, she knows to bow, also known as kiss my butt. She knows roll over, she knows play dead, she knows to come, she knows to stay, she knows to let go on command, she knows to leave items and not touch them, like food and things like that. She knows to when she's allowed to eat things on command. She knows to pick things up on command. And and she knows how to speak on command. And I know there's more things, like I said, that I'm probably forgetting, but this is what I can remember for now, and she's always learning new tricks. Just because she's older does not mean she has stopped wanting to learn and being able to learn. She's quite smart, despite her being called Dum-Dum as a joke. What's Mugen's story? I touched upon this before when I was asked what her original name was. My husband and I were recently married, and he wanted a dog. He wanted to add to the family. We had already had lizards and a cat. And I agreed to it. We were looking to adopt from the local shelters. Unfortunately, our lease agreement was not specific enough on what animal to adopt, or not what animal to adopt, that we could fact have an animal in our home. So the adoption agencies were like, nope, no dice. And our landlord lived all the way in Florida, which was halfway across the country for us, and there was no way we were getting a new lease. And there was no way we were going to be able to get the dogs that we wanted. So we looked on Craigslist to see if anybody somewhat local to us was unfortunately having to rehome their pets so we can scoop them up and give them a good life. Hopefully before they went to a shelter and, you know, wound up with a bad family or didn't make it out of the shelter alive. We were actually tossed up between several other dogs, but Mugen and her original owners were the ones that got to us first. And they drove all the way from Queens to New Jersey in a freaking hurricane. Really bad thunder and lightning storm. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Little tiny Mugen huddling and shivering in her owner's arms. And it was pretty much love at first sight. Right, dum-dum? And they loved the fact that we were good people. I loved the fact that they were good people. And Pookie wasn't too thrilled at the time, and it took a couple years for Pookie to actually get used to Mugen, but now they're inseparable and they can't go into a room without giving each other kisses, which I find really cute. Why a pit bull? Now, pit bulls, I always have a thing for underdogs. Pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans. I love them. I just root for the underdog. I know that they're good inside just like any other dog. And they just want to be loved. And I always found these guys to just be gorgeous dogs. And my family bought into the fear-mongering and the media hype. So I was never able to own one as a child. So when I had to foster one that was abandoned on my doorstep, I kind of fell in love with the breed. So they were one that we kind of wouldn't mind have had owning. But like I had mentioned before, we had other dogs, you know, on the table at the time. Pit bulls weren't the only ones. We had a Rottweiler, we had another pit bull, there was a Shiba Inu, and there was one more dog. I can't remember the other dog, but they were all on our list of ones that we were potentially going to be adopting. And Mugen is the one that found her way into our heart. She's changed the minds of my parents, a couple of my friends, and a crap ton of strangers. I mean, she's sweet. She's been pretty much adopted into my family as the official granddaughter because my husband and I don't have kids. And you know what? She comes pretty damn close to being a kid. A furry kid, yes. Yes. Is Mugen good with kids? I know, how dare people even question it, I know. She's absolutely fantastic. Mugen will cry like this if she doesn't get attention from kids. And she's always been introduced to children since day one. Her original owners had an infant, and Mugen was pretty much a newborn at the time too, so the two of them grew up side by side until she came into my custody. And when she was there, my brother-in-law was born, so she continued to grow up with him, and the two of those are inseparable when they visit each other. And just about any kid in general, she's just really happy to see them. She loves to roughhouse, she loves to play tug-of-war, she loves to run through the sprinklers with the kids, and play fetch, and just be happy and blow off all of her energy and steam. Is Mugen good with dogs? This one is a bit weird. Mugen is good with dogs in the sense that she's dog selective. When she was younger, the day before we had gotten her fixed, she was attacked by a gang of male dogs that were not fixed, and they were hormonally charged, let's say. And since then, she's become dog aggressive. My husband and I have worked with her, and now she's become dog selective. Certain dogs, there's really no telling. She'll accept them. She'll love them to death and play with them until the day is over. And some dogs, she just knows from a distance that she doesn't like them. But she won't react, at least from a distance, which is nice. Before, we couldn't even get anywhere within eyesight of a dog. So we've come a very long way. And I think she'll be better in time, and even if she's not, I still love her for all her faults. And it's not like she asked to be attacked. It's not like, you know, it's not like her fault for being wary of dogs. So I can understand that. What's the worst thing Mugen has ever done? When were you ever a bad girl, is the question. I think probably the time I came home from work and you don't want me to talk bad about you? No? Okay. I have to tell them the bad things. Come on, we have to be unbiased. We have to tell them the good and the bad. So one time I came home from work and I discovered that Mugen had dug up one of my reptile enclosures that were filled with sand and dirt, and it was all over the carpet. And then she proceeded to go and find every trash can in the house. You can't bribe me into saying no, to stop talking about your stories. And then she took every garbage can in the house and shredded all of its contents all over the floor. So that was pretty bad. She also ate a hole in my kitchen wall in my last apartment because she was suffering from separation anxiety, and she somehow managed to eat a hole in my wall through her crate. Yes, through her crate. Wait, relax. I'm almost done. Speaking of crate training, when we were crate training her, Mugen had a habit of pooping just about every other night at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and then rolling around in it and getting covered and smearing it everywhere. And we would be awoken to the smell and have to bathe her every night. Every night, pretty much. So that's when we gave up on crate training, and that's when she became a normal dog. Yep. And that was pretty much the worst of it, guys. Look, I'm done talking about you, I promise. So... What? Yeah? Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Mugen just brought it up to me. I'm gonna tell them. Shh, relax, I'm gonna tell them. Relax. So, be excited, everyone. Mugen is going to be featured in this year's Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet. She's going to be featured in the Kiss Cam segment, so please be on the lookout for us and be sure to tweet us on Facebook or YouTube if you see us. I'll be sure to be looking forward to you all. Until next time, guys, say take care. Okay, Mugen says take care. If you have any other questions, comments, or anything, let me know in the comments below or in a private message. Okay, goodbye!